Congresswoman, welcome. I'd like to know, what is your reaction to the new discounted rate from $15? I mean, I love that congestion pricing. Really, this is a tax increase that's now become a tax cut somewhat. What's your reaction to this discount from $15 to now $9?
Well, only Governor Hochul would call a toll going from $0 to $9 a tax cut. This is the ultimate Hochul hoax. Remember, shortly before the election, she stopped it. She said it was indefinite. She said had no plans on bringing it back. A week after the election, here we are again fighting this cash grab, which is so unfair to the people I represent who have to drive into Manhattan for doctor's appointments. If they work weird shifts, they're nurses, they're police officers, they're waiters. They get off at odd hours. And you know what? They're not comfortable riding the public transit system that Kathy Hochul has deteriorated with her bail law and releasing repeat offenders back onto our streets. And so they do drive. And also we lack the mass transit option. So this is like, you know, you're trying to tell people that you're actually doing something for them when you're continuing to hammer them over the head and try to take more of their hard-earned money. And maybe people around the country might not care right now, but this is a first-in-the-nation type program. And if we don't stop it here in New York City, it's going to come to a city near you. So we all have to collectively speak out against this unjust cash grab. And we're suing in federal court, myself, Staten Island Borough President Vito Pasella, and local elected officials, Democrats and Republicans, to stop it because they're violating federal law.
Yeah, absolutely. You mentioned the people that work weird hours. I'm one of those people. I commute. I drive here to our studios in Midtown Manhattan every morning. This would cost me thousands of dollars a year just to get to my job. And as you said, there's no other option, no other safe option, at least. I don't feel comfortable taking the subway in the middle of the night. I'm pretty passionate about this, as you could tell, and I imagine your constituents are pretty passionate too. What are you hearing from New Yorkers?
Yeah, they're angry. They don't believe that they should be paying a toll to drive into another borough in the city in which they live. Now, my constituents, the ones that live on Staten Island, already pay a toll to head towards Manhattan, and now they're going to be hit with another toll. And this is really an issue of mismanagement. Let's talk about New York's budget. They have the most bloated budget in the nation. It's a $240 billion budget that has gone up $100 billion in the last decade alone. It is twice the size of the budget of the state of Florida, which has millions of more residents. And Kathy Hochul has the money to spending. The mayor and the governor are spending $5 billion to house illegal immigrants in luxury hotel rooms. This is an issue of misplaced priorities and not respecting the taxpayers and making sure that their money is actually going to benefit them, the citizens of our great state.
We've got about 45 seconds. I want to get this take on from you. What can the public actually do to get involved, Congresswoman? I know you've got the lawsuit that you mentioned from a federal violation of federal law, but what can the public actually do to get involved, to support you and what's happening here, those that oppose it, like Charla?
Yes.
Well, they should be calling the governor's office today. They should be calling their local elected officials and get them on record, say they want them to come out and speak out against congestion pricing. And there should be another public comment period because she's changing the rate from $15 to $9. So push for that public comment period and actually show up and say things. People oftentimes don't, take that extra step of being involved. In this case, they need to. They need to write to the governor, call the mayor, and put pressure on these people. They need to hear from you. Because I'll tell you something, the governor has a lower approval rating than President Trump does in New York. And for her to do this, try to jam it through before the president takes office is wrong. And we'll work with President Trump to fix it and slash this thing once and for all. But the thing is, we need to do something here and step in because the governor's not listening to the will of the people. 2/3 of New Yorkers in the city alone have said they're opposed to congestion pricing. And the governor doesn't care. She wants to jam it through anyway. Don't let her get away with it.
I have my pen and paper ready. My letter is being drafted. Congresswoman, thank you so much. Appreciate you this morning.
Thank you.